Hi guys, and welcome to another Sailing Nendaz video. In this week's episode, we sail to Muros. We had a bit of an orca scare, the autopilot breaks, we fail our man overboard practice, we explore Muros, and we meet some new friends. Let's get to it! Good morning. I forgot to record any of that, but we just left the anchorage. And now we are heading to Muros, which is about 35 miles, and we should get there about 2:30. There's a few others leaving. There's a few already that have left on AIS. And those are the guys we're leaving behind. I had such a nice night's sleep. It was the quietest night's sleep we've had in a long time because the marina we were in Camariñas is actually quite noisy. Well, we were right on the edge of the marina, so loads of boats come by, fishing boats, cargo boats, massive cruise ships, and the wake comes into the marina and it sends the boat flying. Yeah, beautiful morning. Let's get to it.
This is my first time ever downwind sailing.
It actually is, like, for a good stint. Everything you've done in Plymouth Sound has been upwind or on a reach.
And we've never had the sails spread out like this before.
This is called goose winged.
Goose swing.
Yeah. We're doing 6 knots now.
I don't like it when it's like this.
That's fine. That's what the pole does though.
Pulls it out.
Yeah.
It's nice when they're full, or when they're both full. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's just the waves knocking the wind out. We've got to go around that headland in the distance. And then we'll swap the boom onto the other side, we'll drive. I think that's finished there.
Feels like we're going really slowly. Yesterday we were upwind sailing into the anchorage and I hated it because I don't know how windy it was because we've got no wind gauge telling us, but
It's probably like 10-15 knots
it
max.
wasn't. It didn't fit.
Probably 10 knots.
It felt like we were going really, really fast, and then I looked at the speedometer and it was like 3 knots, and I was like, what is going on? And we were heeling over so much.
We weren't.
It felt like we were. Yeah. Now I was like to Joe, what's the point in doing this? Why don't we put the engine on? Like, we're still going really slowly. And then looked at the speedometer and we're going at like 5-6 knots. So yeah, it's interesting how it
You can't feel the wind on your face really.
No, not at all. Even facing like supposedly into the wind now versus facing into the wind yesterday when we were going upwind, which feels really different.
That is a catamaran. We've caught up with this catamaran. We were like several miles behind it. We've caught up with it and we're about to overtake it. We've been cruising at like 6-7 knots, sometimes 8 knots, like all morning. And we're just about to go around Cape Finisterre now, which is called what?
Well, I read that it's called like Costa del Muerte or something. Basically, the coastline has got a really bad reputation in the olden days for sailors, where there'd be really big seas and unpredictable maybe weather. Yeah, so Costa del Muerte, which I think is basically like the coast of death. Yeah, I mean it's full of rocks.
So we're about to go around the coast of death. But today the sailing conditions are like perfect. We've had like following seas and we've been on downwind or on a reach the whole way. We're on a reach right now, but we've got wind coming from right behind, waves coming from right behind us, so we're just surfing along and it's absolutely beautiful. And yeah, about to cruise past this catamaran. Doesn't stand a damn chance against us. And not a single boat has been able to catch up with us either, which I'm very proud of. We've been tweaking the sails. It's been a real test of Nendaz's speed and agility, this Gypsy 402. And nobody's caught up with us. We've got another boat here behind us. And nobody can get close to us. So the wind has died. The wind has totally died. We're going 1.4 knots, 1.5 knots. We were absolutely smashing it along like 6, 7, sometimes 8 knots. We were doing mostly like 6.5, 7 knots. And then we sort of got round Cape Finisterre and probably like half a mile past it, just totally died. No wind at all. And it's actually quite good timing because we've just gone and made a really nice lunch, had some chocolate, and I'm about to have a Diet Coke. I'll give it another 20 minutes or so and see if the wind comes back. I can see some wind quite far away. I'm not sure you're going to be able to see it on the camera, so I won't even try. And it's just enough for our boat to go 1.4 knots of boat speed. So we are getting there, just very slowly. So I think it's time to motor it because we want to get there in good time because Flick wants to do an afternoon of work. The wind is back again. We floated for a good half an hour and then just as I put the engine on, we motored for 5 minutes and then the wind was back. Now we're doing 5.5 knots again. But also on the radio we just had this we just had Coast Guard talking. We can only hear one way. We can hear that somebody's being attacked by orcas.
And let us know if you have a problem after the attack finish. Over. Rudder and midship. Keep the rudder and midship.
What did they say? Reverse?
Keep the rudder and midship?
Yeah, no, before that.
Yes, sir. Switch off all the equipment that you have on board.
Switch off all. We can only hear one way. Their radio must not be far enough, but Coast Guard has a really powerful range.
Okay, sir. We are standing by on this channel. In case that you have any problem, we can send a rescue boat to your position, or we can move any vessel that is close to your position, sir. Keep us informed. Over.
They're off of Cape Finisterre, which is where we just were about an hour and a half ago. But we can only hear one side of the conversation, so we can't hear the transmissions from the boat because presumably their radio is not strong enough. The Coast Guard's radio is much stronger. But yeah, kind of scary, but it seems like they're okay. But it was close to us. A couple hours away from Muros now, and hopefully we can sail the whole way there.
We've just had a little bit of drama. Joe, do you want to explain what the situation is?
The autopilot fixing where it attaches to the rudder stock just snapped. There was a metal bracket that was welded onto the rudder post and that just snapped clean off at the weld. And so I heard a loud bang and now we don't have any autopilot.
So that's fun. So we've put away the...
half an hour away or an hour.
It's very windy. We've put away the headsail, stood the plane up. And yeah, now Joe is hand steering us into Muros. And we're going to make a decision when we get a bit closer as to whether we anchor, which was our plan, or we go straight into the marina. We've got some posts, we think, that might have arrived at the marina that we need to pick up anyway, but now we'll need to do a bit of work to the autopilot and order some parts. We don't really want to get trapped in a marina again for a few more nights, so yeah, we'll work it out in a bit and let you know what we get up to.
Okay, we just arrived at Muros. We've just dropped the anchor. We got about 9 meters of depth to put out 30 meters of chain. Should be plenty. We can always let out a bit more. Don't want to let out too much because there's this giant harbour wall behind us, which looks further away than it is. Now I'm just backing down slowly on the anchor. Is it gone tight? Okay, so now it's tight. I'm gonna give it some revs slowly and take a transit off the land. So compare the stern arch to the land. Putting some revs on it. Take it up to 2,000 revs. And we're now moving. So, job's a good one.
This is gonna be a game changer. Oh. Okay, this is our new Starlink box. It looks like a TV. It's like space age. But it's going to go up here somewhere and give us really, really quick internet, which means that we can stream stuff, and most importantly, we can work without having to burn through data and jump between SIM cards and things like that. So this is really exciting. Look at that. It's so weird. It was so lovely to spend a few days in Muros exploring the town. It's really, really pretty and unspoiled, with lots of beautiful little back streets which are perfect for pottering about in and enjoying the amazing heat wave that was giving us such a beautiful sunny September. After a few days of sailing, it felt good to stay in one place for a few nights. Although while we were at the marina in Muros, you could see new boats coming in every day that had been attacked by orcas and lost rudders. There seemed to be a spate going on in that week, which wasn't exactly reassuring for our next leg. We did, however, meet an amazing group of Dutch boats who were having drinks on the pontoon, and we joined them to exchange tales of our experiences so far and our journeys ahead, over a couple of beers. We ended up elbowing our way onto their convoy for our next trip, following them down the coast, which turned out to be pretty helpful. Stay tuned for next week's episode to find out why. Trust me, it's a goodie.
We were just having a lovely little sail from Muros to a little anchorage, and Walter picked up his ball and then just dropped it over the edge, so we've decided to go back and get it. It's a little man overboard exercise, so we've dropped the sails and now we're motoring back round. No, I can't. No idea where it is.
It's coming up on our starboard side. I don't know what your strategy is for getting it back in the boat though.
Okay, you want to film?
Sure.
I'll take over.
Oh, can you see it? Yeah.
No, point.
There.
Actually might sink it. I want it to come right off the back corner of the boat.
Okay, go straight. It's coming down our side.
It's coming?
Down here. It's almost level with me.
Oh, too far away.
Oh. And round two. I can see it. I can see it. And now I'm pointing at where it is. Can you see
Might
it?
jump in again.
That's a really bad idea. Okay, slow down.
Need to be right close up against it, honey, because at the back end it comes back out.
Okay.
It goes thinner.
Yeah.
Tell me what I need to do.
Tiny bit that way. Okay, it's going under our bow now.
See it?
I can't see it anymore.
It's on the other side. Just run over it.
we failed. I would recommend not falling off of our boat because we can't get you. No, we went too close over it at the front.
Ran it over!
We
Ran it over! Imagine if you fall off!
And I wasn't actually doing the man overboard manoeuvre, it was all Joe, so...
That's by following your instructions! Look, now he's trying to find another toy to play with.
What are you about to do?
What do you mean?
What are you about to do?
I'm going to dive on the anchor. It's one of those things that you see in all of the YouTube videos, and I've always wanted to do it, so I'm going to go and see what our anchor looks like. I could take the GoPro actually.
Yeah, that's a good idea. How deep is it?
3.5 meters.
This should be fine, shouldn't it?
That's not far at all. Walter's hunting for fish and shrimp. Look at his tail. I've never seen it wag so much. As the sun set on a final day in Muros, we hoisted the dinghy and prepped the boat for the passage ahead. This was such a special few days. The friendliness of everyone in the boating community is amazing to witness. I think there's this sort of understanding that we all sort of exist on the fringe of society. Help in an emergency is potentially hours or even days away. Everyone just sort of goes out of their way to help each other in any way that they can. Whether that be something as simple as inviting you for some drinks and a barbecue after a long day at sea. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button.